Hey guys, it's Sam here and welcome back to this week's review where we review this week's Premier League games and have a little bit of a talk about each one and some other things here and there as well, and then having a little bit of a look at some fixtures from around the world. So let's just get into it. We start with Saturday, no Friday game this week. It was instead Leicester and Birmingham in the Championship, but the start was a very controversial game between Chelsea and Fulham, where Fulham were wrongfully chalked off a lead, which was for a foul, in which it really wasn't, and that even the guy that was on VAR was supposed to VAR Liverpool and Arsenal, but a few hours before kick-off that changed because of this mistake in there, but Chelsea went on to win 2-0 after recovering from that possible of going behind, but then it being chalked off, that gives them life, and then they went on to win that game. Man United had to do it in the 97th minute from a penalty from Bruno Fernandes to beat Burnley 3-2 at home. I mean, there's not really much else to say about that. Man United continue to be shit. Even when they win, they're shit. So, who cares about that? No one. We move. Sunderland continue their great start to the return to the Premier League with a 2-1 win over Brentford. Which is very interesting because they conceded in the 77th minute, get the equaliser from the penalty in the 82nd, and get the 96th minute winner. So their drama from the Championship has definitely continued. They are continuing to be as threatening going forward as they were last season. So they could be in for a very good season. I think Sunderland, if they can continue this form all the way up, they've got no issues of staying up, Sunderland. Bournemouth beating Tottenham 1-0 at Tottenham is insane, especially with the way that it has started for Thomas Frank. I don't think anyone had that on their cards for the start, scoring in the 5th minute and then managing to hold on. That's incredible. Everton beating Wolves by 3-2. Wolves' disastrous start to the season continue. They are literally rock bottom on 0 points with a goal difference of -6 after just 3 games. It's not looking good for Wolves. Their only fortunate thing is that it's the start of the season and they're only 2 points from safety. So a win would literally bump them out of the relegation zone. That's their only saving grace at the minute, is that it's the start of the season, so it's all still very close. But yeah, it is not the start to the season they would have hoped for. And then Leeds and Newcastle played out in 0-0. Again, Newcastle still looking for their first win of the season, and that very well may come now that they've got their striker that they wanted. The goals might start flowing into yesterday, and this is probably where the games of the weekend came. 2 in particular. Brighton and Manchester City. City going 1-0 up, Brighton coming from behind to win against Manchester City is incredible. And again, City still look shaky from last season to this season. not a lot's changed. And maybe, just maybe, the Club World Cup has had an issue with City, at least, in they don't look that great. They don't look threatening. Now, of course, it's the start of the season, so anything can happen from now until May, but it's not looking great for City at the start. But, as I've said, it's early, so you've got, but then, as the season does go on further, the tiredness and the lack of a break this summer, because they competed in the Club World Cup, is going to be even more damaging. And yeah, if you're not starting well, I don't know how they can end well either. So they're going to need a massive middle part of this season to have any hope, really, of challenging Liverpool and Arsenal to the title. The other big game, or should I say the other game of the weekend, came at the City Ground, where West Ham beat Forest 3-0, scoring the first in the 84th, then the 88th, then the 91st. Like, it's insane. Considering how poor West Ham have started as well, and everything has gone wrong. I mean, their captain, Jared Bowen, was trying to fight a West Ham fan in midweek after losing and getting knocked out of the Carabao Cup. You've got the fans clearly not happy with the manager, and probably the manager also not happy with the transfer business. They haven't really had a great window, so it all was going wrong at West Ham, and they've ended up winning 3-0. So yeah, who knows what is going on there, but it's bizarre, and yeah, no one saw that coming, really. And then another 3-0 happened at Villa Park, with Palace beating Villa by 3-0, and Mark Gay scoring an absolute worldie in what could be a farewell, but it is undecided yet. It's still very much up in the air, with just about 10 hours, well, 9 hours and 10 minutes to go. So who knows what will happen, but it's it was a very good goal, and Palace absolutely thoroughly deserved it. And then finally, last but not least, Liverpool winning by 1-0 against Arsenal. Yes, finally, somehow, out of nowhere, Liverpool have kept a clean sheet. Who would have thought it? I was all for the very possibility of it being another 4-4. However, this time they would not have Andreas having to score all four. That was mental. Honestly, that man had one good game in his whole career. It just happened to be at Anfield against Liverpool, where he scored 4. Doesn't make sense, but then again, that's what happens to Liverpool. It could only happen to Liverpool. You know, a lot of dog shit players become world beaters when they play Liverpool. And my brain. I can't, but did happen. We won 1-0. Dominic Szoboszlai with a banging free kick. And that is why he should have been on free kicks since he came in. And no, Trent was our free kick taker, but did he have to take all of them? Like, Szoboszlai barely got a free kick before this season to take. And that's why he should be on them. We've seen him score banging free kicks for Hungary and for Leipzig, so why the hell was he not really on free kicks at Liverpool? I don't know, but that is why. You know, you don't need Salah on them. He scores more than enough and he's always going to get the chances. He's the penalty taker. You don't need the penalty taker to also be on free kicks. I say keep it at Dom. You've got McAllister who can also take them and Florian Wirtz who can also take them. Keep it at that. I'd say keep the midfielders on free kicks and then just allow Salah to score from open play and from penalties. That's all we need. We don't need him also on free kicks. It's not really needed. Because you've got someone like Dom who just smashes them into the top corner like that, and I mean, it was worthy of winning any goal at any game, but yeah, I mean, who knows, really? I'm playing through this because obviously it is deadline day and I've got a couple of videos also that I want to do today as well. I will just mention, obviously last night the agreement was made with Newcastle for Isak. I am going to do a video on that once the window closes because it may be Gay as well. It may just be Isak, I don't know. But also potential going outs as well. So we'll wait until the window is shut. That video will most likely come out tomorrow. But I may also do something else as well. I don't know yet. I might just record those two. But flying through this just so that I can get back to it really. And stay up to date as best as I can with everything that's going on. But anyway, yeah. Like I say, I think game of the weekend probably came. The biggest shock for me is the West Ham one. Because they've been shit. They really have, and Forest have looked very, very good. So that was a big shock. But who knows what will happen. There's still a debate really over his future. We're not too sure about that, but I don't see any way they sack Nuno. I don't think they do. Because, I mean, if you listen to the owner, what he said after the Europa League draw, that it was all sorted and they were all talking and trying to, you know, basically be focused on moving Forest forward and being the best they possibly could be for the club. But then they go and play like that and it's like, are the players really playing for him, or was it just a bad day at the office? Who knows, but you can't turn up at home against a really piss poor team and play like that, you know. So I don't know. It's all up in the air. But anyway, what else? There is... We could check from other leagues. So as I said, Friday, Leicester, Birmingham. Leicester won 2-0. Another great goal from the Leicester winger. The Abdul Fatawu he scored a banging goal against Charlton and scored a great goal on Friday as well. Last week I said that Leicester could struggle. I mean, if he can keep playing like that and scoring goals like that, he could single-handedly single-handedly, my brain's not working today, it's early. Single-handedly, he could send Leicester back up, really. There's no doubt about that, but again, I still stand by it. They don't look as strong as they did last time in the Championship. So, I'm still unsure, but I still think they will be promoted because it's expected. They were Premier League last season, so it is more expected in that the teams that go down end up coming back up. But obviously, as we saw with Luton, don't always work like that, and they could end up getting relegated again. So yeah, who knows. Also in the Championship, West Brom beating Stoke. Stoke's wonderful start to the season unfortunately failed. However, Middlesbrough have gone 4 from 4 under the managerial prowess, shall we say, of Rob Page, who obviously managed to get Luton up. He could get Middlesbrough up. A great start for him at life at Middlesbrough, 4 from 4. West Brom, 10 points from a possible 12. So that's not a bad start for them either under a new manager who... I forgot who it was now. Let's go. Who is it? Ryan Mason, that was it. So, a great start for him really as a manager as well. I know he had a little bit of a... I wouldn't say caretaker role, but in temporary charge of Tottenham. Just before, after they had sacked Mourinho. But this is, I think, his first proper managerial job, and he's done very well. So, yeah, that's great. Bristol City, 4-2 winners against Hull. Obviously, they lost the manager, but the new manager that's come in seems to be also just as good. So, Bristol City continuing their form from last season could again have a good chance at making the playoffs if they continue like that. And Wrexham secured their first win back in the second tier with a 2-0 win over Millwall. So that's not too shabby really. Obviously Kiefer Moore and Lewis O'Brien. Kiefer Moore, incredible signing. Really was. He scored, I think, in, if it's not every game so far, it's at least 90% of the games so far. He's been a great signing for them. And then obviously another one of the new signings, Lewis O'Brien, scoring in the in the 90th. I mean, it says 90 plus 18, so I don't know if that was 90 plus 18 or if that's just live score being a little bit drunk. But who knows? It can get like that at times. But then, yes, Southampton drew with Watford. League One, Cardiff, comfortable winners against Plymouth. They are, out of 6 games on 16 points, they look clear favourites to head straight back up to the Championship. They obviously... Barry Murphy, that was it. Things are going very well for him in League One with Cardiff at the minute, so it looks like he and them could be very comfortable return to the Championship. Yeah, not really anything else sticking too much. Nothing really. Nothing going on. No shocks around the world. I mean, PSG had a 6-3 win away to Toulouse. That must have been a very exciting. João Neves scored a hat-trick. Just insane. And Dembele scored 2 penalties. So, yeah, just mad. And Ajax had a 1-1 draw away to Volendam. Obviously hoping that they do well with Heitinga as the manager, and then you have Yaris, who's gone there on loan, as well as McConnell. So he was not in the squad. He clearly didn't arrive in time to play in that game, but 2 great loans for them. Hopefully they do very well. Fortunately, Ajax are 5th after 4 games, but they are only 1 point off Feyenoord at the top. But Feyenoord have played a game less, as they probably, I'm guessing, play tonight. No, they don't. I'm a liar. I've lied to you. Well then, I don't know. They must have been involved in a competition or had a game suspended or something. But that's that. Yeah. Yesterday, the Old Firm, Rangers Celtic, played a bore 0-0. No one's that bothered. Barcelona drew with Rayo Vallecano 1-1. Nothing else really going on here. Nothing. Well, that's that really for this week. Yeah, as I said, I flew through that so that I can get back to turning the sound on and seeing what's going on for the rest of Deadline Day, with a video that will come out later. Well, it won't come out later, but a video to do later that will probably release tomorrow. This video will be out at the normal time of about 5. So, yeah. Don't think I need to say anything else. That is it. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got